So now let's look at Chris. We remember Chris wants to transfer to four-year, just like Leon. But in Chris's case, he's interested in being a business major. So he's going to find his curriculum the same place, going to academics to university transfer. And then notice here we have the business DTA. He wants to click on that. This is starting to look real familiar, isn't it? This is another curriculum sheet. But this one, notice, is fine-tuned for a business transfer. You'll also notice down the left side when we look at the actual classes and spaces in communications, quantitative, humanities, and so on. Notice how many classes are actually prescribed specific for a business transfer. The reason this is true is because these are the same classes that a freshman or sophomore would be taking at any four-year school that is a business major. So notice again, here we have English 101, but then notice we've got 102 or 107 chosen. Again, 101 is the prereq to get to 102 or 107. Notice we've got in the math, or excuse me, in the quantitative, we've got math. And just like we saw with Leon, there are prereqs. You already know how to identify those prereqs. The other piece here that is distinct to this degree versus what we saw with Leon is the sequencing under the business specific classes. Notice the accounting 201, 202, 203. Those are a specific sequence. In other words, you have to take 201 before you advance to 202 and 203. I should also mention the same thing is true at the top under quantitative. You take 147 before you take 148. And again, those can all be identified clearly with the degree and course information system you were just shown with Leon. Assuming Chris has the same placement scores as Leon, he's going to start too with Math 54, English 101, and his College 110. Second quarter, he's going to move on and do Math 96. He's going to look at that English 102 and then some other class that makes sense in his curriculum. What Chris also needs to discover, though, is what's the pathway to get to that Math 147? Well, as he goes to the degree and course information system that you saw demonstrated with Leon, he's going to check the same area of math again, but he will find that actually his path is a little longer to get to 147. So if we look at Math 147 here, we notice what's its prereq? Notice this one is Math 98. Math 98 is generally required for anybody who's going to have calculus in their future. And in fact, business majors do take a version of calculus specific to business. So he knows he needs to plan on getting to 98. And the other piece he'll find out is the prereq for Math 98 is to successfully complete Math 96. So for our friend Chris, he's going to start at Math 54, then Math 96, then Math 98 will be likely in his third quarter. And then once he successfully completes 98, he's off to 147. I should also like to mention too, one thing that is true and often overlooked at first for business transfers is the predominance of math as a discipline in the entire degree. We'll notice not only Math 147, 148, but notice Econs 201, 202, and then buried down here again is that friend Math, the Statistics 146. In fact, Math 98 too is required to get to Accounting 201 and to start that sequence. So math really is a predominant discipline for a business transfer.